Hi, this is my first update on the intervention I am trying to make at my self-storage facility business, store stuff in Northern Ireland. I have two sites, and over the past 3 to 6 months, the rate of bookings has practically dried up completely. And I've been sort of ignoring the business. It's kind of been running on autopilot, and I'm just trying to make a few changes now to see if it can make a difference to the booking rates, and if we can get some more bookings and try and get this facility getting on filled up again. So the first thing I did was I checked our booking flow, checked the website, make sure there was nothing wrong there, and there wasn't. That was all going through fine. I then decided to phone the phone number and make a phone call to the business. So I was trying to see what customers experience when they do that, and I started listening to a bunch of recordings of calls. And we've been using a service recently. I was answering our calls, and I found that some of the calls weren't being handled the way I would have liked. I've always been a big proponent of letting people book online, but a lot of customers have questions. So they will phone and they will have questions and want to know, how does it work? What size do I need? That you can't get away from that in self-storage. That is going to continue. We've always answered phone calls, and we've always wanted to do a good job on those calls. We've also wanted to let people who get it on the website go ahead and book. But when I listened to the calls, I just don't think we were handling them well enough at all. And so we've made a couple of changes. One is I've changed it so that if a customer phones us, my instant change was I put it straight through to my phone. So for the 4 to 5 days after I looked at that, I took all the calls. That was one a day. So we'd one call a day, and that was we'd one inquiry a day with one or two other calls, people moving out. And I took the inquiries, and it gave me the impression that we probably will get some bookings quite soon. I felt like there was a bit of demand there. Maybe it's coming into summertime. Maybe there's going to be more house moves. I took those calls. Unfortunately, that's not sustainable for me to be always answering the calls. So I've changed that now. So it's going to call me and a colleague of mine, Brian, who I also run store stuff with, first. And then if we can't answer, it will go through then to where we're taking those calls. And we're just going to see how those calls go with that third-party service over time, see if they improve. And I just don't want that to be an issue. I want to make sure that if somebody phones, we do as great a job as we possibly can. So we've done that. And then there's a few things I've done to try and make it more attractive as well. So we used to do free van hire on all bookings, and just from taking phone calls at the time 2 years ago, I knew people really liked it. So we've reintroduced that. So we've introduced free van hire on all bookings. So if somebody books a unit, they will get a van on the day of their move for free, and they get it for 24 hours. I've arranged that with a third party, the same one we used before. We used to have to ring them every time somebody booked a unit, and kind of make the booking directly with them. What I've done is built a little form. So that form is going to be sent out to our customers when they book automatically. They'll fill out the form, and the van hire company has access to that form, and they will see when somebody comes in. So whenever somebody fills out the form, the van hire company will see it, and they will then contact our customer and arrange the van hire directly. So that takes us out of the loop and saves us a bit of time. The van hire costs anything from £40 for the smallest van to £70, I think it is, for the biggest, maybe £80. And we just pay that to the van hire company. They've got our card details, so they just charge us. So it doesn't take any time, really, apart from getting the email sent. We will need to keep an eye just on that, but that should be fine. So that's free van hire for all bookings. We've introduced that. I also looked at all the pricing. So I took a look at prices for Portadown and Dungannon, and frankly, I brought a lot of them down a little bit, not too much. I just don't want to overreact. So I brought prices down a bit, and I made it clear. I think maybe some units didn't have a 50% off. I've put that on all of the units. So we now have prices. I've also tried to round the pricing a bit to kind of. We had a lot of sort of pence numbers here, and I just decided to take that out and just try and make it all easier to see with the eye, and just simplify prices a bit. Same with Dungannon, so I made that a little bit simpler looking, hopefully, for customers. So we've done that. I've also introduced, only by a figure at the top here, so we've said 20% discount for annual stays. So if anyone calls us, we can take a booking over the phone. We'll take the payment up front for the year, but that payment works out at 20% discount, so it's a pretty good discount. I've had a couple of people ask about it, but nobody's booked that with me yet, and actually there are no bookings on that either yet. But it's there, and we're going to try that and see what happens. I've also changed the layout a bit here, so you'll see this is the homepage for Store Stuff NI. I've just changed the Stora system, just allows you to change the layout a bit quite easily, and I've just put this image in. I want to make sure that people understand this is a high quality storage facility, and just as a differentiator, it's not containers, it's not something else, and just want to make sure people saw that, and hopefully that can justify some of the price as well. So I want to get that up there too. It's also a really nice, clean site. I want people to see that. So I've done that. A few other things just to mention quickly is in my Dungannon site, I do have still 2,600 square feet of unused space that we haven't fitted out. So I've added in. I put it, first of all, I have that here on the site, but I was chatting with another guy who runs a couple of sites here, and he said a couple of things. One was that the days of shooting fish in a bucket are over for self-storage, which I thought was an interesting saying. But he also suggested, why don't you, advertise sort of smaller units for businesses and see if there's demand. And then if there is, I can basically get somebody in to divide out the right size here. So I'm going to see how that goes. I haven't done a whole lot of advertising on this yet, but it's on the website for now. So we're going to test that out too. See if I can get that part of the site filled as well. So that's a bunch of stuff I've done around pricing and the website. I've also done a couple of other things I've done. Is number one, I have started running some Facebook ads, and I can only assume that these are not working at all, because this ad is for my Dungannon site. So you can see what I've spent. What have I spent here? It says 11p a click. So it's suggesting I've spent £26.19, get 11p a click. That's a lot of clicks, 243 clicks. I don't think we've had one single phone call. I haven't received a phone call. I haven't seen any in the phone logs. So I don't know what people are clicking on for this to happen, but it's certainly not coming through to our phone. This is the ad, and I'm trying to optimize for phone calls. So, the button is a call now button with a phone number, and it's not coming through. I looked at this earlier. I was thinking, is that the wrong number? Is there something wrong? But I can't see anything wrong with this at all. So I don't know if that's working. I might just have to turn that off soon, because it doesn't seem to be doing anything, certainly from a creating business perspective. So I'm trying that out. One other thing I've done, and this is really cool actually, a good friend of mine is a drone videographer, does a lot of BBC films and all sorts of stuff all around the world. And he came over to my sites and brought us drones. And we did some really cool filming. So I'm just going to show you. This is what we filmed in my Portadown site, which I just think is absolutely class. Let me move me out of the road. So this is a little mini drone, and he has flown it through the middle of the site. He's changed the speeds a bit here. I'm going to speed this up for any ads. But the thing that I think is really valuable here is for people who've never been to a self-storage facility. I'm hoping that these videos can be interesting and also drive, let people know here's what you're getting if you come and book here. So we've done that there. This is my Dungannon site here. So this is a similar sort of thing. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. The drone's about that size, and he basically flies it all the way through. Let me see if I can speed this up. Don't know if I can. He flies it. Oh, here we go. Speed. Let me use 2x. He flies the thing, and on the first take he tapped the edge of this balcony and the thing fell on the ground. We thought it was broken. But he flies it through the facility. People get to see what it is, how it works, and I'm going to probably put these into 10-20 second videos, like really sped up, and throw them onto Facebook and Instagram, and hopefully that might drive a bit of interest and just a bit of awareness of what it is that actually Store Stuff Dungannon is, Store Stuff Portadown is. So I'm going to do that, and I think this is going to be really, really interesting to see how this goes. You can see I'm in all of these. There's one more here then. This is the kind of a further away one for my Dungannon site. You can see it's a lovely looking site, brand new building, but you can also see there aren't many chimney pots nearby. It's about 1 mile from the centre of the town, and maybe that's having an impact on this site here. But anyway, we'll use these videos. You can see I'm constantly moving stuff into self-storage facilities. Okay, so what I've done so far: check the customer experience, change the way phone calls come through, change the website, introduce some new offers, and simplify the pricing a bit. trying to get the extra space. Actually, if you look at this video, this is my Dungannon site. It's this door over here that isn't fitted out. That's where the 2,600 square feet are. So, one of the biggest wins would be to get that let, because that's probably a couple of £1,000 a month. That would be great. So, trying a few things to get that let. I'm running Facebook ads, which don't seem to be working. I have filmed these drone ads. I'm going to pull these together today or tomorrow and get them onto Facebook and Instagram and run some ads to get those into people's feeds. Yes, I've got a lot more stuff to try. What are the results? They're terrible so far. So I'll bring up. It hasn't made a difference yet, basically. So if I bring up my allocated square feet over time at Portadown, so you'll see my last video, which was 2 weeks ago, I did 6 months. You can see the square foot change at that point was 1153. It's now 1198, so it's worse. That's because we've had a couple of move-outs. We've had one booking, though, thankfully. We've got a 200 square foot move in a couple of weeks as well. But that booking was from before I filmed the video. So nothing really, a whole lot has changed yet. I'm trying stuff, and I'm going to try more stuff in the next couple of weeks, and I'll provide another update. Anybody at the conference next week, I'll hopefully see you there. And thanks for watching. Cheers, bye.